All right. This is the part of the program where you, the Geek Show Podcast listener, asks us, the Geek Show Podcast people.
Not me, probably.
Well, you can weigh in.
Okay.
Questions.
You're here now.
Questions. Sometimes we get questions, and then we answer them. That doesn't work.
That's pretty good. No. That's
Holy
gold.
shit.
That's gold.
I
That's
thought
gold.
it was pretty good.
All right, so I'm going to read these questions. Hold on.
Leigh will read the questions.
Let me put on my
Then we'll answer them.
let me put on my spectacles.
Those
Are those
are those
progressives?
are those your reading glasses?
These are actually my seeing glasses.
Okay.
Are
My reading glasses are at home.
Are they progressives?
No, they're not.
I'm wearing bifocal progressives, man.
Yeah.
I'm old as fuck.
That's cool. Joe wants to know best TV theme song. My vote goes to Fall Guy. Song by the lead self-referential tells you everything you need to know about the show.
I kind of agree
Does
with this guy.
that matter? Does it have to?
Yes,
No,
to
just
describe
what
the show.
you, no, just that's his vote.
That's his thing.
That he
What was the vote
he's
again?
weighing in. Best TV theme song.
Fall Guy. He
Best
said.
TV
Fall
theme
Guy.
song.
Yeah,
Greatest American Hero.
that's a good one.
Well,
That's I love that song.
okay.
God, I'm thinking like shitty '90s ones.
I think Bill Bixby's The Magician.
Even songs. I keep thinking ones with words, but just music wise, Knight Rider.
Okay.
I think it's one of the greatest fucking theme songs.
Busta Rhymes and Timbaland sample.
The
That
Hell yeah, it
A-Team.
is.
The
A-Team's a
A-Team.
great one.
Yeah.
Well, but it also
You're like,
it
fuck
also
yeah, let's watch this.
it sets it up. It sets it up with they're a crack paramilitary team, kind of like.
Well, is that the theme or just the narration over the
That's the
theme?
but that's the narration,
yeah.
but it's still part of the theme.
I
right?
guess you're
it's
correct.
kind of like the Incredible Hulk theme. It tells you what the show's about, and then the
Dr. David or Bruce Banner, David Banner, because Bruce is
Bruce is a gay name.
in the 70s. It's a gay name.
We don't call him Bruce because everybody will think he's all about some other sort of Hulk.
It's true.
You guys, we don't want the people thinking the Hulk is gay.
Well, if we're doing the descriptive theme song,
Wait. Time out. That's really what happened?
Yeah, they changed.
Because I
his
was
name
always
from
wondering why it was David to
Yeah.
Bruce.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Bruce is gay.
Because in the 70s, that was like a kind of a code word for someone being gay.
Like, what a Bruce.
I mean, if you watch old Johnny Carson monologues, he'd always, he'd do the gay jokes as, and then there were two guys there named Bruce, and that's where you knew he was going.
We really
Yeah, the producer said we're not calling him Bruce Banner.
we're going to call him David.
Yeah, David Bruce Banner.
Yep. And the only reason why they even threw the Bruce in there was to tie it into the Marvel comic.
Yeah, the headstone. It was on the headstone.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Well,
how far we've come.
okay, descriptive TV theme songs. I mean, I don't think there's any more than the two biggies, which would be Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Because that spells out what's
Lit-
happening
literally.
there.
I think I know what your second is.
And the Brady Bunch.
No, there's one other
Because the
one.
Brady Bunch.
Wow, the
pretty
Brady
much-
Bunch is pretty.
Yeah, what's the one you were thinking? Small Wonder?
Nah, man. Family matters, dog.
This is the same theme to Larry Show.
Oh, the Gary Shandling
The
Show.
Gary
This is the
Shandling
theme
Show.
to
The
Gary
Gary
Show. This is the theme. Gary called me up and asked me to write his theme song. What do you think? I'm almost finished. How do you like it so far? This is the theme to Gary Shandling Show.
Yeah.
Who fucking wrote that? Randy Newman.
I don't know.
Yeah, sounds like.
I said, honestly, that's what I thought.
All right.
But I will say Batman 66.
Oh,
Batman
that's a great one.
66. Yeah.
Well, and,
Two ones that make me smile immediately. And one's only a few fucking notes. Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
Just a few bass lines. And then Kirby Enthusiasms.
Oh.
Right when he goes dun dun dun. I'm just like, oh shit.
And the story behind that theme is
because it's an old song.
no, it's an old jingle from a bank.
Oh shit.
From like the 60s or 70s that Larry remembered. And he said it's an old bank jingle. It was the music that was played under the commercial for the bank, and that's what I want. I want that music. And they were able to find it, and I think they got it for next to nothing.
If they bought it for something, he's got it.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, the original Star Trek.
Classic.
true.
Yes.
I know when it's another tells the story. Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yes,
Fuck
it does.
yeah, Merle Haggard.
Don't
Merle
forget
Haggard.
Beverly Hillbillies in.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
all of those. What was the name of the producer that did all those fucking shows?
Green
in the
Acres?
60s?
Something Sherwood.
Sherman Schwartz.
Sherwood
Sherwood
Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Sherwood Schwartz.
Yeah, every single one of those had a singing Green Acres. It's what's the premise?
I got two that don't have words, but you know right where you are when you hear them. X-Files.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
And modern day, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
sure.
I mean,
Yes.
you know right
Well,
where you are.
Portlandia. I mean,
Bob's Burgers.
Portlandia has a theme it's still a hit on indie channels, and
Yeah.
whenever it comes on, people start screaming, "Yeah, Portlandia!"
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's actually a hit in its own right, but
Some of it's
Yeah.
just almost like a choir going, but it's the first 3 seconds of The Simpsons.
That's true.
Oh, that's classic.
The cloud
Yeah.
scene. Yep.
Theoretical, this is from Chris. Theoretical crossover question. It's an ongoing debate. We're going to help settle the debate between Chris and his wife.
All right.
Given the deteriorated brain activity in a zombie, could Professor X control the brains of a zombie? And if yes, to what degree? These are the questions
You
that
think
I
about it
love
on a rainy
Yeah.
day.
that we
Hold
get
on.
asked.
Let me see this question.
You don't need to see it.
No, I just need to see who asked, which Chris asked.
Yeah,
His
we-
name's Chris. Last name?
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Okay, well, Jay knew it.
I've hung out with this dude. He's good. He's funny. as
So
shit.
yeah, it
All right. So
deteriorated brain activity of a zombie. Could Professor X control them?
no.
In my opinion, no, as well, because there's no upper
Yes,
brain activity.
Exactly.
And that's what you need to control.
Yes.
They are nothing but beasts. They are like beasts in the field.
Wow, you sound like the GOP.
Oh.
Oh, oh.
So that's
It'd be hard to tell anyways because most of all of their activity is deteriorated. They don't really do anything well. So how would you know
Yeah,
if he
so
was
we-
controlling
so
Well,
them or not?
apparently their teeth don't deteriorate.
That's a good point. They eat
Wait,
well.
but if zombies eat brains and then that's
That's true.
you know what I mean
You
like
are
that's,
what you eat.
It also depends on whether or not you're doing the Night of the Living Dead or
Right.
Return of the Living Dead zombies.
Mhm.
Because in Return of the Living Dead, you can keep some
Yeah.
activity going by eating fresh brains, in
Uh-huh.
which case Professor Xavier could control you.
well, and then there's the whole: is the digestive system even processing what they're eating? And the answer probably is no, because
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think they're taking shits.
actually the
You
big
know?
They're not carving
They're not
sharks.
carving sharks.
it honestly depends on this one thing if Cerebro got the latest software update.
And then
That's
there's
a good
that.
point.
yeah.
Point.
Sure.
You got to factor that.
Ricky
Yeah.
Ricky works at the Riverdale Target. Wants to know if Shannon can stop in.
Just to say hi.
Hey,
or-
stop by. Go to GoFundMe
Yeah.
so I can stop by her Target.
That shit.
Get Shannon drunk at Target.
Valid question from Jonathan. Should loot boxes in games, such as the ones in Overwatch, be considered gambling?
Yeah, I read an article about this today.
Well, it's a big deal in Britain right
yeah,
now, too.
it's a
I
huge
know
deal
there's states that are actually suing
Yeah.
EA
Yeah.
because of
because of
Battlefront.
Battlefront.
because of
too.
Battlefront.
Yeah.
Wait,
what
so
a
what is it?
clusterfuck there. What a fun, nice game that they managed to ruin by
Since
being greedy.
since the
Why
loot
is every-
boxes
so-
are random and you have to sort of grind the game to increase your chances of getting good stuff, they consider it gambling.
Or you can pay for
You
them.
can buy them, right? There's
Yeah.
microtransactions.
As a non-gamer,
Mhm.
why is everybody so pissed off about the new Star Wars game?
Because they kind of they pulled all this shit last year with the first game, and it's very much play to win in a lot of ways. Like if you buy enough loot boxes, you can get really
Yep.
good performative gear
Yeah.
that gives you an advantage in the game.
over the other players. Yeah.
Right. Whereas in Overwatch, all of your gear is cosmetic. There's no performative bonus to anything you
It
can
just
unlock.
makes your character look more
Right.
pretty.
You can just cool. I got a good dragon skin for May, so that's great. So that's not gambling because it doesn't give you an edge up in the game. But I do think that in the case of like EA is kind of a fuckhead of a company anyway.
Yep.
Well,
but
I've just seen all these memes over like the last
Because-
like 2 weeks
because it's
about
been
fuck EA.
Here's the thing, man. EA put a game that it's much better than the first one
Yeah.
from a year ago, but you do have so many paywalls that you hit immediately, and they're just like the first time you get taken out by a guy who's got a high-end sniper rifle that you know he got in a loot box, you can get the loot box for free for playing, but he bought $100 worth.
Right.
And he's doing walkthrough videos on YouTube that he's getting paid for, being an asshole to you on. So it's not like it's not like he parted with his hard-earned money. He parted with video game money to do that.
No.
It gets aggravating. So I can see people getting mad, and it's also just that the actual campaign game is really cool, but it's 5 to 9 hours depending on how you play it. 12 for me.
But how is it considered gambling?
Because
I'm
you're
not
giving
hearing
them
yet.
money for the chance of getting something.
Right. You don't know what
But
you're
it's
buying.
but it's
Periodic reward.
but it's not.
But here's the thing.
You're not winning money.
Here's the thing: is it's the rich kid can just go on there and just buy all the fucking loot boxes. To I believe the number's like $2,100 to buy the whole damn
Everything,
thing.
yeah.
You get that means you get everything. That's how much it would cost. So you get a poor kid who's getting fucked over, tax bill. He won't be able to get those things. He's got to sit there and or like nickel and dime his way to get some gear.
Yeah.
So it's just like real
now-
life.
I mean, it's
I mean,
just
like,
like real
there was-
life. Yeah.
I'm
The
totally
best tweet I saw was I miss cheat codes. Now the cheat code is
Money.
your credit card.
It's
Yeah.
your credit card.
It's
Absolutely.
it's fucking bullshit.
Well, it's totally bullshit because you got a guy who's like you said, either a professional gamer or it's we play and we have bank accounts, or you have a 15-year-old who's not, what's he gonna do? Steal his dad's credit card and go?
In some cases, yes.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm still not seeing how it's gambling.
But now the question I'm asking about your gambling, because I'm kind of curious about this too, because you're saying you're paying for something that you don't know what you're getting, right?
Right.
What about those like mystery boxes that you buy at Dr. Volt's? Like, you got them those little toys and stuff. You don't know what you're getting.
It's the same theory. It's like
somewhat,
periodic. It's periodic reward.
Yeah.
I
So
think
is that
it's-
gambling too?
I think
That's what they've based like Facebook and
Yeah.
like
Well, hang
every
on,
like.
Lee.
I don't really think it's gambling. I think
No.
that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah.
I think
but
it's a shitty way of business.
It is predatory.
it's shitty, yeah.
And I would
don't,
bet most gamers don't think it's gambling either.
No.
They think it's bullshit.
but I
they
look
don't
at
think
it.
it's gambling.
Again, it goes back to Overwatch with me. Is the reason why they put a loot box out there that you can buy instead of just earning, which you can't earn. For every hour of game played, you get loot boxes. It makes sense for a game that cost hundreds of millions to develop that you spent $60 for. But you know what? A lot of these video games make more money than big budget blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think Battlefront 2 probably made hundreds of millions of dollars already.
I bet they're dodging the gambling aspect of it, because if you ever look at, like, I want to say when McDonald's used to do like the Monopoly game like that, and so you have to go buy French fries to get in. So technically that's kind of
Well,
form of gambling. But if you look at the fine print, it says you can ride in and we'll send you a stuff.
Yeah,
for
we'll send
free.
you a free one.
So it will be
And
free.
that's how you get away from it not being a lottery.
So if
yeah.
you're saying that you can get a loot box for free,
You can by playing.
then I
You-
think that's
you
I think
can
that's
earn
their-
them- you
that's
can
their
earn them the
bullshit
slow
loophole.
way.
that is
It's
the
still a
loophole they're
shitty
getting away
thing.
with it.
yeah. See, they're not going to be able to use gambling.
They're not.
To,
They're not. But
change
it's
that.
it is a performative bonus that I think is kind of bullshit.
It
so,
is. It's a shitty practice. But
yeah.
it's not. It's
and
not
that's
gambling.
EA
Yeah.
everywhere. And that's what's sad about it is EA. I think it's sad that people are going after the developers. And they're
No.
getting pissy with the developers. The developers are just the mooks that put the game together.
They're told to do this.
They're not the fucking suits that said, "Oh, we need
Put
to make
this in
sure
there.
that we make this
Yeah.
super profitable."
They're not the ones
So-
who said,
the second-
"I have an idea."
Well, the second they say no, they go, "Okay, get out, Doug. You get in." Like,
Yeah.
Look, someone's right behind them.
Yeah,
Just
and-
hopping
oh,
in a
and
chair.
here's-
clamoring to get in
And
there.
guess
Yeah.
what you
Another
have?
day,
You have
another
a-
Doug.
You have a DNA that says that you can't fucking say a word about internal practices.
Exactly.
So you can't leave that job and say why
And
you even left.
So the only way to combat this is don't buy the goddamn game. And I know you're going to buy the goddamn game.
Well, I bought it. I won't be paying any fucking
Yeah.
money.
I won't.
And because I haven't played the multiplayer, I just been playing the campaign, which I think is great.
The campaign's great, and arcade mode is phenomenal.
Well, the other thing too is because 9 times out of 10 when I play a multiplayer games, it's me and Counts and
Yeah.
our buddy, Mess, and sometimes some other friends.
Yeah.
And because I don't want to deal with the fucking other people.
Yeah.
We just do it in a closed
Exactly, do a
closed
private
circuit,
room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
All the AAA games have microtransactions.
Yeah.
All of them do. And if they would just limit it to cosmetic shit and
Yeah.
not
Yes.
not have it be competitive bonus, nobody
Yeah.
would say a word.
no, there's
nobody
the,
would say a
the,
word.
I agree.
the Neverwinter game. It's a fun little D&D game, and it's all cosmetic. I think the only thing that's non-cosmetic is you can buy mounts that are faster. That's not giving me an edge up
Right.
in
Yeah.
anything but getting across the fucking landscape faster.
Yeah.
Alex wants to know if you could do 2 adult-themed cartoon characters like Archie, Rick, and Morty, cartoon characters meet and have a fight that have never met before, who would it be and why?
Adult themed.
Yeah, not kid show stuff.
Okay.
And only animated or
Like fist fight,
Seems to have specified cartoon characters.
okay.
Space Ghost versus Harvey Birdman.
I got mine.
I'd watch.
Yeah, I'd seriously watch that.
Rick and Morty versus the Aqua Teens.
Oh.
Because God, I'd like to watch those Aqua Teens fucking die.
Hey,
Fuck that
shut
show.
up. That's my favorite
I know
show.
you fucking, but I think it fucking.
You
sucks.
can't just use Rick as an assassin to kill shows you don't like. That's not what the question is.
that's kind of what he does.
I know he
Right?
does. He does.
Hey, look
I would
at
take,
look at these fucking guys. It's a fucking Happy Meal. I just love to see that.
I would take Fritz the Cat versus Jessica Rabbit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
So one of them would fuck each other to death?
Could happen. Or they might fight. I don't know. We'll just see where the animation takes us.
Fritz would try to get there.
Most likely.
I can't think of,
Because
like,
you know
more
what Fritz
adult-themed
you know what Fritz always
cartoons.
says? You over there. You over there. And you over there.
Yeah.
I can't think of any like adult themes.
I know,
The first
adult theme.
fight that came to mind was Captain Planet versus the Ambiguously Gay Duo. So
Oh, you're
I'll
halfway
take
there.
that.
Captain Planet wasn't adult themed though.
I know he
There's
wasn't.
a lot of
But I'm
teenage.
You didn't
kids.
see the Don Cheadle one?
Yeah, that one's funny.
I'll have him. The animated version of him.
All right, next.
Shane wants to know why Thanos is a different color.
then
Because it is.
Because he's Michael Jackson. I tweeted this the other day. He's Michael Jackson. He's lighted his skin. He's only wears
he had
one glove. He's
alopecia.
Michael Jackson.
Here's my guess. They did a test.
He wears one glove. It's Michael Jackson. It's fucking Michael Jackson.
My guess is they did a test with him looking dark purple. He looked like shit, and they decided to lighten it up. That
Exactly.
would be my guess.
Yeah, to make it more marketable, and
Because
also he'll come out with a baby form. There'll be a baby Thanos and be very
Shut the
marketable.
you
I
guys
think when he was purple, in a darkly lit room, all you could see was his teeth.
yeah, nobody
And
wants to
so-
see Cap fight Grimace.
This is what you're worried about?
That question came from the internet.
That was an internet question.
Okay, all right.
No, I mean
And,
capital T, capital I.
Stuart,
the internet.
Stuart says, "Hello, heroes. Wishing you all peaceful and awesome holidays, and thanks for everything you do to help me get through mine." Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Our
Is
pleasure.
that Mongo? Yeah, that's Mongo. What's up?
Steve wants to know what your favorite things are to do at a con.
Drink.
nap.
Yeah.
I nap.
Sell art.
Honestly,
Yeah, it's very specialized.
Honestly, I people watch.
yeah.
I love looking at like people's like creative ideas with costumes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like you always see your basic Ghostbuster or something like that. Where, like, but then there's one person will walk by like Mr. Poopy Butthole, and you're like, you
Yes.
got it. Like you fucking won this one like that. You know.
I like watching the little kids who come dressed up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Seeing
Don't say you like to stare at little kids. It's
no
weird.
the cosplayers that are all have worked on their costumes and look like they've stepped out of that movie or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Watching the little kids react to that.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
See, there's three like things that I like with costumes. Though there's the obscure, that's like the reference that only a few people are gonna get. But you're like, if you get it, you get it. Then there's the people who did it themselves. Like there's that guy that you interviewed in the walk around con who did the Batman suit, who built it himself like that, and it looked pretty damn good. But it's like perfect. So, but I appreciate the the imagination. And there's people who just throw a fucking wad of cash at it, and it looks like identical to the movie. And you're like, you fucking nailed it.
No, I think cosplay is my favorite thing now because, unfortunately, the thing with a con is that you can go to a con and some people might disagree with me, but you can go to a con in Vegas, you can go to a con in Denver, you can go to a con in San Diego, you can go to one in Salt Lake City. They're all the fucking same con. I mean, it's the same vendors.
Do the travel. Yeah.
Chances are there's the same people.
Oh no, it's a
but-
traveling circus.
Okay.
Yeah, but the cosplay tends to be different,
Mm-hmm.
and you see some amazing work gone out there. First time, and I know Jay will agree with me on this. The first time I saw a Roadhog, just walking around, and dude's 6.5 feet tall, and Roadhog's a character a plus size gentleman can play comfortably, and I was like, nice. That took some work, and also a little daring for larger dudes to walk around without
But
their
it's
shirts on.
dope though. Like,
Yeah.
But that's the fun part about. Well, that's why I love Overwatch, and that's what I love about
a lot of
cosplay
diversity in it.
so damn much. Is you can do the shit.
My favorite thing is just the brother and sisterhood of it all.
Well,
Yep.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's just so cool that so many like-minded people all together in
Yeah.
one place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I went to the left-handed store. I was talking about this while reading. A bunch of left-handed people all going, "Hello."
Do y'all shake
There's
with
some-
left hands?
Oh, we were just like,
I
it's
am
so
you
hard,
and you
huh?
are me.
I used to say it was the panel programming because the first 3 or 4 years that I did panels, I thought that was amazing. And but I've noticed, and it's not just Salt Lake; it's all cons. They have a tendency to bring in people that are not entertaining for panels,
Yeah.
and that crashes the subject faster than just about anything.
Yeah.
And so that can be really
I
unfortunate.
mean,
I like moderating too.
Yeah.
I experience cons very differently than you guys do because I'm never, I'm never part of it. I'm only there just as a spectator. And the vendor floor, just seeing what these artists do is unbelievable. And you got to walk into the farthest corners of that place too.
That's where you find the good shit.
That's where you find the really
And
good
the weird
stuff.
shit.
It's really amazing.
Dan wants to know.
Oh.
Sorry, Jay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I gave my quick answer, which was drinking, but I mean, in all honesty, it's my favorite is Artist Alley. To just walk down Artist Alley and just see the visual, because that's where it all fucking starts. That's really where it starts, and like where all these crazy ideas start to come to life, and then and this is. I don't say this as a brag. I definitely consider it a privilege, but it's just like there's nothing better than going out in front of in that ballroom and just hearing literally hundreds and probably thousands
No, it's
sometimes.
5,000.
Yeah, thousands of people getting excited for someone they're about to bring out, and it's as a performer, for me it's like it's Viagra for me.
That being said, our live geek shows
Yeah.
that we do.
Yeah, the live
for
geek
sure.
shows.
Oh,
yeah.
that's fuel for the fire.
That's
I mean,
the best.
Yeah.
To me,
that's
the
what
best
we
part.
like to do
Yeah.
at a con. I think the question might be what can a muggle do at a con?
well,
Because we're magical wizards.
for you, but I agree
I'm
with
a
you
muggle.
100%. It's a traveling circus, but it is Artist Alley that you will find different people out there. Because you see all these people selling pop figures and selling shit, cups and mugs that'll fade off in your fucking dishwasher in a week. It's just like, but it's where you find somebody who put their heart and soul into something, and you're like, that's fucking
No,
rad.
the perfect
Like your
example
wife.
is that
Like your wife.
that super emo friends.
Yeah,
Like I've
When
got
I-
like 8 of his pictures
I think
hanging
I've
in
got
my
about
house.
5 or 6. Yeah,
It's interesting with Artist Alley because about 70% of it's crap, and that's
I admire 'em, man. I mean, it takes balls to
yeah,
put your
but
shit out on the table. And
anybody who's got training, you're looking at 70% Uwe Boll movies, and that's the truth of it. But it does take some intestinal fortitude to get out there and vend.
Yeah.
But when I find the 30% that are amazing, when I see Danny Powers at the con, and it's like I would have loved to have. If I hadn't known her before I saw her art, I would have just been completely gobsmacked by it. So
I remember when she was learning how to draw. So
yeah,
funny.
she's
kills
one of
it.
the one of the
She
best
kills it.
raw talents out there. So
Yeah, she's great.
and with training.
Next question.
All right, Dan wants to know how about last Thursday's Orville? I remember Jay's criticisms. The show seems to have done a lot more towards giving backstory and future direction for the.
We
John
talked about
Lamar
this while you were
character.
gone.
Did you watch this week?
Yeah, I did watch with was that Lamar where he's smarter than.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Meh. It still to me it just feels like another pandering. Talented black youth is actually hiding his abilities, and I don't know. To me, I was like, I've seen this shit before, but
So then let me ask the question.
So they can't win.
What
with
do you
with
want?
that
I don't,
kind
I don't know, just like something. Give me like a Lawrence Fishburne type character, somebody who's already a I don't know. It seemed to me like this where we
Like
get-
Matrix, Lawrence Fishburne, or Blackish?
I don't know, just something. Just where he's already established. I don't know. We've
Predators.
seen this narrative so many times before. We're like, oh, he's a diamond in the rough. Black youth is so talented and got the aptitude and smart. We've seen this fucking movie. Matthew Perry's probably starred in it. It's such a. I don't know.
I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it addressed your issue with him.
Exactly, but it was like I just wish they would have did it in a way that wasn't played out. I've seen it so many times. I felt like I was watching Dangerous Minds.
It was the
with Michelle Pfeiffer, and now that he's gonna teach the commander how to fucking tie a do-rag, and then they fucking move and they dance.
It's kind of
this.
along the lines of what we're talking about with how CW
Ugh.
is handling gay characters. They're just characters that happen to be gay. So that they need to maybe trot out the character and make a spectacle of his special ability,
I don't know.
or not.
I don't know. I just wish he was a smart brother from the get-go. That like
Well, he has been, but
but I mean like if he just
He didn't want to show it.
here's how I took it. Smart dude, completely unmotivated.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
And
now
I've
that
seen that. I've seen that in my occupation. I've seen that over and over and over again. This is a smart person with no ambition and no stick-to-itiveness.
I'd also just say
And it was like this was, and I didn't see it as, oh look, the black guy's super smart. I saw it as like, oh look, this person's super smart, and somebody's finally pushed them into. You must be ambitious. You have no choice. You must flourish right now.
It felt like an episode of TGIF on ABC. That, like, hang on, Mr. Cooper's done this episode before. Family Matters has done this episode. Martin, every fucking what you call it, Hardball with Keanu Reeves. It's the same. For me, it's the same shit. We've been spoon fed this shit for a long time. So for me, I still enjoyed the episode, but I was like, all right, I've seen this before. I know how this ends.
What'd you think of his explanation? Growing up in a blue collar colony where smarts weren't cool. I mean,
I don't know. To me, it just. But I did like the other part of the story with the sub art with Isaac and which.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't.
So
weigh
I
in.
mean, but like other than that, I just feel like it's been done too many
All
times.
right. Next.
All right, Dave wants to know. It's mostly a Jimmy question. What makes a movie more of a failure?
Ask the guy who made The Room.
He won.
I know he
That guy's made so much fucking money.
Yeah,
He
he's made his
won.
money back.
Yeah, he won.
I mean, it's a number of things. It can go from the acting, chemistry, the chemistry between the actors. I've seen, I've seen actors that have pulled out roles that were Oscar worthy, and then you turn around and what comes to mind is Mark Wahlberg. Watch The Departed. fucking Oscar worthy. Flip it back, watch The Happening. He looks like a fucking idiot. You know?
Eddie Redmayne, same thing.
So,
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, exactly. The connection between the actors and the directors, because I think Mark Wahlberg. I keep going back to him, but like he's an actor who needs a director that can direct him. So there's actors who can do it on their own.
Right.
There's actors who cannot do it on their own, but they can pull it out. With the right connection and the right foundation. It can be set design. It can be not have enough money to make your special effects look good enough. It can be everything that pull you. If it pulls you out of that movie, the trick to a movie is you can see the effects, but once you notice them, then you're like, I'm out of the movie.
Right.
So even if they're high quality,
the new Planet of the Apes movies are perfect examples.
I never saw them. I never saw
Never saw a
apes.
fake monkey.
Nope.
Right?
Those were apes.
Those were apes. They were not actors.
Nope.
They were apes, and they were real, and they were.
That was not Andy Serkis on a horse.
They had emotion, and they were just brilliant movies.
So it's kind of that's a question you could talk for hours
Yeah.
about. But
I'll give you the short version. Michael Bay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, Brett Ratner. What's the guy you keep saying? Julie Bowl.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
just
number of things.
Make shit at 24 frames
Adam
a second.
Sandler.
All right. Aaron wants to know, what are your geekiest bucket list items? And do you have some you can check off your list? For example, meeting Stan Lee.
We checked that one off.
Yeah,
check that
that's
one
for
out.
sure.
I didn't.
Right now, the first one that came to my mind, just because it's in my bank account, is because we have the Leigh's birthday fund growing and growing.
Oh, yeah. You're doing a good job with that.
Yeah, and so right, no, every week it goes in there.
Yeah.
And so seeing that Star Wars land in Disneyland and Disney World, that's one I want to check out.
I would have to say just getting a lot of Bitcoin. I don't know. Not like for real. Like you mentioned bank account, and I've kind of started researching the Bitcoin. Like my cousin's really into it, so I don't know. That's just one thing that I would say is.
Isn't one Bitcoin like 10 grand
yeah,
or
it's
something
10
like that?
G's.
I thought it was 5.
That went up dramatically.
Yeah.
So
11
11
now.
now.
Yeah, James says 11.
It's all. I mean, I was having conversations with people yesterday. Bitcoin, it might go forward.
Yeah.
It might collapse.
yeah.
Don't bust yourself trying to catch up with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I've been just paying attention.
all of you people watching the stock market right now and screaming and yelling about how it's higher than it's ever been before, you got to realize that that's all speculative. This is not actual performance.
It's not based on
this is
reality.
people
Yeah.
who all of a sudden have the retirement nest eggs of the largest retirement generation this country has ever seen, and they're going hog wild. When this shit collapses, it's not going to be pretty.
Anybody remember 2008? I do.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the question?
Oh, yeah. We're talking about. Yeah. Sorry.
How many Bitcoins do you want?
Yeah.
Was the question.
Bucket list.
Geek bucket list.
Bucket list.
I'd agree with your Star Wars land. I want to live long enough to see these Marvel movies.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, but they're
Kerry.
never going to stop, so that's the problem.
Well, I mean,
It's
the next Avengers,
Yeah.
Infinity, they said
Every
that they're
second.
they're pressing the reset button, and everything will change from there. If I can
Good.
make it to there, that would just be great.
Well, it's like, I love Catherine Kennedy's thing. She's like, if you're living today, you will never see every
And
Star
you
Wars.
guys
I'm
were-
sorry to tell you that.
That's absolutely true.
We're far enough out, and I think on Agents of Shields,
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Earth was destroyed in the Infinity War.
Ooh.
That's my big theory. That's why it looks all
Because
like a fucked
I
up
don't want to say
crescent moon.
anything because some people at the table haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Watch it.
Thanks.
I
Sorry.
will. I will.
Yeah,
I will.
Thanks for giving me all of 24 hours to catch up. You dick.
It's 3 weeks.
What's next?
That's
true.
You want this to be the last question? 'Cause
Yeah.
it'll take a few minutes to answer.
Okay, yeah. Let's end on
So
this.
David says, if my math is right, this would be about the same episode as the Fireside Chat.
No,
Okay, so close enough though. What, we got a week? Couple weeks?
Yeah.
So like 6 months?
Oh, good. It's almost Kerry makes me
No,
cry
it
day.
should be the next week, I think.
Yeah, this is the 20.
well,
this is
like
the
it's
20th.
18th.
when do I do it on Christmas or New Year's? When do I do it?
New
I
Year's.
thought it was Christmas.
I always thought it was
Well,
New Year's.
I'll
Well,
figure
either
it
it's going to be
out.
Christmas or New Year's Day.
It's usually Yom Kippur that you do it.
Okay.
Okay, so in that spirit, I want to say thank you for being a bright spot in this 2017. Question is, what was your bright spot this year? Either geeky stuff like Wonder Woman or Thor Ragnarok, or Tom King's run on Batman, or TV like Psychic the movie, or, in his case, he became an uncle. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
So congratulations. Thanks for everything you do every Monday morning listening to Geek Show.
Thank you.
So big bright spot in 17.
Thank you.
Geeky bright spot.
Geeky bright spot in 2017.
Guardians Volume 2
Okay.
was wonderful. Daddy issues is why.
I get it.
Let's see. Any others?
What was?
I love that we Geek Bright Spot for the year.
Oh, okay.
I love that we got new Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, TV series. And it's just been great. That I never thought that would happen.
I love, and it's probably been around for a while, but I'm just now discovering it. But the resurgence of face-to-face interactions now. I see a lot of people that are actually kind of desperately needing to get back together with other human beings. So, for instance, I found my Zen at my game store.
Yeah.
It's like I start looking forward to it because I want to have that physical interaction with people, and then seeing the interaction that people are having on online communities where they're building a community to do cool things. And I think it's in a direct reaction to the oppressiveness that we're kind of breathing day to day now, where we're kind of wondering what the hell's going on and feeling like we don't really have much control over the direction things are going. So that's been a bright spot for me. I hate to bring it to a dark spot while I bring up the bright spot, but I've noticed that yearning for what we have here at this table, is it seems to be picking up.
Yeah.
Seeing Roger Waters live was awesome. Those crab claws that I had in Santa Barbara
I was gonna say my crab that I
on
in San Francisco.
on Hendry's Beach at the boathouse. They were wonderful.
Man, for me, is watching the Justice League fight Superman.
Oh my God, that scene was.
Best scene in that goddamn movie.
You remember, Jay? I was sitting right by you. Remember that?
Shit was funny. That shit was funny. I was actually I was staring off into space.
When
like,
he cuts his eye over, Jay was like,
I was like, motherfucker! Oh, you're talking about the part where like Superman catches goddamn Flash out of the corner of his eye, and Flash is like, oh,
he can
shit.
see.
exactly. That's the part.
That
But
shit was
I mean,
great.
think about this year and movies. I mean, movies are why I'm here. So
This
that's
has
the
been
thing.
a great fucking
Think
Great
about
year.
it. It started. Don't
You guys
forget
haven't even brought it up yet. Logan. Yeah,
Logan.
See, I knew it.
Yeah.
Logan,
March.
Blade Runner, the Marvel movies,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. For God's
Wonder
sakes.
Spider-Man.
That to me is one of the bright spots
One
of
was
the year.
in this year.
I know.
Yes.
Rogue One.
Rogue One was
No,
last year.
Rogue One was last
Yeah,
September.
late last year.
Yeah, you're right.
It was
a little
holiday
little
season.
movie that took me completely by surprise. Atomic Blonde. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah,
Baby
that
Driver.
movie was
Yeah.
fun.
Baby
Baby
Driver.
Driver was great. I
Baby
love
Driver.
both of those movies so much.
Yep.
Baby Driver.
Atomic Blonde. I had no idea it would be as
Thor
good as it was.
Ragnarok. for
Thor
fuck's
Ragnarok.
sake.
Thor
Of the
Ragnarok.
best Star Wars movie Disney's put out yet.
It's
Thor Ragnarok.
been a great year for geek movies, and Jimmy and I were talking about our top 10 list for the year. It's gonna
yeah.
each of us are gonna have at least 4 geek movies on that list.
Yeah.
You can't
That
help
doesn't
it.
happen every year. That does
No.
not happen every year.
And it's just exciting to see where the culture's going because, then you see the trailer for Ready Player One, and you're like, fuck. You just want to, honestly, I just want to keep living so I can keep watching this shit.
It's going to be interesting for me with Ready Player One because
I love
I've
the book
noticed,
so much. Yeah.
Well, and here's what's interesting about that book. I noticed guys my age that actually lived through the 80s not quite feeling as nostalgic about the stuff that's being portrayed in the book as you guys. Yeah, the guys that are 10, 15, 20 years younger than us.
Interesting.
So I read it and I'm like, yeah, we were there, but I think also we were there and the 80s were shit.
Yeah,
So
some of the stuff young people think was cool in the 80s was
Yeah.
not.
No,
Because you
no.
guys were like reading this shit, doing duck and cover drills in bomb shelters.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. I mean, you live,
Maybe.
you
Well,
live,
but now everyone's back to our mindset.
Exactly.
you live through the Reagan decade. And you're not kind of going, we haven't eaten in 2 days, but man, E.T. was great.
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think my answer is it's just where my career is, and
Oh, yeah, dude.
taking over the junkets and doing that kind of shit. And then the number one I think interview of the year for me was Jackie Chan.
Oh, really?
I think that was
Yeah.
just
That was a good one.
It was one of those ones like I've just watched and admired that guy for my entire
Dave
life.
Franco killed it in that interview too.
There,
that was some
there are
good
times
stuff.
there are times in your life where you see a friend doing something that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
Yep.
just blew their own mind,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you just kind of sit back and go, yeah,
Yeah.
you did it, you done did it.
Yeah.
I get to ride this guy's coattails once a week, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Do you have Blu-rays or should we just?
Well, I think I can do a movie. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. You want to do a movie?
I could do video games
Jump in.
if you want. The original.
Don't
the
say
original,
Halo 1.
Halo 2 is still out. It's not easy to play anymore though because most of the computers are too evolved to play it. Dynasty Warrior. That's a good game.
All right.
Dynasty Warrior from PlayStation 2?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, I like that game.
All right.
I really like that
Jimmy.
one.
So-
The Sims. The Sims. If you want to make a family, That's cool.
I'll just do it the old-fashioned way.
I may have jumped the gun. I think I may have said it last week, but maybe we can review it. But anyway, if I didn't, The Greatest Showman comes out. We'll review that in Broken News. Same thing with Jumanji, which I'm actually really excited about.
Me too.
We will review The Darkest Hour in Broken News. The one I can't review because I've seen it already, Downsizing. This is Matt Damon. And what was the director of Elections? Alexander Payne.
Alexander.
He did the Descendants. He's the one who found Shailene Woodley, and she's the girl who could cry underwater. So if you've seen this, if you've seen the previous,
it's in the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
If now look where she is. She's fantastic. So Downsizing. So if you've seen the previews for it, it's a brilliant concept. Basically, what it is that these scientists figured out a way to miniaturize your body to about this, maybe a couple inches tall, maybe not even that. And then what you can do is all your money that is in your, bank account here transfers. So if you have say $100,000 here, it will transfer to like 12 million down there
Because it's cheaper to live.
Product,
Things are tiny. You're using less fuel.
Yep.
You're eating less food.
eating less. Well, they brought they tested it with 12 volunteers, and they brought them out, and they're all tiny in this this presentation, and they bring out this trash bag like this is how much waste they've produced in the past 7 years or something like that. And it's and the whole place freaks out. So in the preview, it looks like Matt Damon and Kristen Wiig are going to go down there. They miniaturize. Are you having fun? Blah blah this. They're drinking out of giant vodka bottles.
Yeah, isn't Ed Helms in it too?
No, it's not Ed Helms.
No,
it's Jason Sudeikis.
okay,
no,
yeah.
is that it?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's Sudeikis is in it.
So because his friend, he did it first, and he's like, you got it, it's amazing, blah, blah. So, and everybody's laughing, having a good time, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. That is not what that movie is about at all. And
We're being lied to.
absolutely.
All right.
Not a comedy?
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely a
So
comedy.
it's like when they tried to market Skeleton Twins as a comedy.
yeah, well, I mean, at least there's way more funnier parts
It
in
was
that
funny,
fucking movie.
but it was
way more
a
dramatic.
comedy about suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So the true story of what this is so he goes, he strings himself down. Kristen Wiig doesn't go. And so she leaves him. And then he gets divorced, loses half his money. He doesn't get his big mansion. Now he lives in a shitty apartment. His life sucks again. And so he meets his Vietnamese. She was a protester in Vietnam. She came and snuck into the city because she got shrunk down, without her consent. And they go on this humanitarian run, and he learns to be a good person and stuff like that. And but you're sitting there going, this isn't funny.
This is
And it's not even I'm not even learning anything.
And did they need to shrink them down to have that story?
Right.
Yeah, well, and that's what's funny. The shrinking down part just gets lost.
Yeah. It's
So-
why did you do that?
And what's really weird is that the studio is pushing this movie. Did you see it? Did you see it? If you didn't go to the first screening, you need to go to the second one. Can't go to the second one? Okay, here's a screener link. I've got a link at home. I can go watch it on my TV. But they asked me because Kat and I went to the first one. Kat fucking hated it. And and they go, what'd you think? And I go, you really want me to give you my honest answer? I go, that movie has no idea what it wants to be. Is it a comedy? Because I didn't laugh. Is it a drama? Because I didn't cry. I had no feelings about it. I sat there and stared at Matt Damon wandering around like a lonesome jackass with no moral to the story. Nothing's going on. And I said, good luck.
You watched Matt Damon shrunken walking around a place where he looks totally normal size.
Even the funny fucking jokes where they had the giant Absolute bottle and have the tap to it, it's not in it. Not in it at all. And
What?
Yep. And I was just
That was my hook when I saw the thing. I was like, I would like to go to that.
the bottles are there, but there's no tap thing. So anyway, I sent him that email. It was very direct. I was just like, I'm not going to bullshit you because you have a turd on your fucking hands here. And anybody who sees that commercial and goes to that movie is going to walk out fucking mad. And so the reply to them goes, that's the general consensus.
Oh, shit.
And I go,
It's your marketing it.
Yeah.
Your marketing people
you're
are fucked
marketing
up.
it as a fucking comedy. Kat and I were like, because I met her because I had 3 movies, and she actually met me for lunch. And she's like, can I go to the next one? I'm like, nah, it's a press only. And actually, they sent an email right there. Oh, if you want to bring a guest, you can. She was freaking out, loving it. She came in. She was all excited to see it. And when she walked out, she's like, what the fuck was that? So
All right.
I'd probably say 1 star.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah.
Downsizing.
I got another video game.
What is it?
You guys ever hear Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's about this lady, and she's got
Yeah.
a couple Uzis, and she runs around, and
Her boobs are triangles.
she's an archaeologist.
Oh. Okay.
Just check it out.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. B.
Oh, well, real fast. Blu-rays.
Oh yes. Hurry.
I'll do it real fast. One of my favorite movies of the year, Dunkirk, is now out.
finally.
If you haven't seen that, go
I
check
have
it
not.
out.
Good.
Good video game.
Victoria and Abdul, it's getting a lot of got a lot of press about that. Stronger with Jason Gyllenhaal about the Boston Marathon bombing, and that might be at South Park season 11.
Yep.
I think just put them all out on Blu-ray. So that's
All
probably it.
Thank you. Mr. B, please.
Hey, guys, listen to more ham on KSL. KSL.